guys, it is I, Mofus Art here, and in today's video, we, and I mean more of me, will be ranking my OCs in an OC tier list. I do want to mention, I did not come up with this idea. However, I will be crediting the creator I saw who made this video. Their name is Finn, and also their link is down below. So here's how the ranking goes. The highest tier is I'll die for you, and the lowest tier is, of course, you're trash, but I'm trash for making you. I do love all my OCs, however, the ones that give me pain in drawing is the indescribable. I'm also ranking them by design, if I love drawing them, and also their story potential, if they're a potential boy or not. Just basically how important / impactful their character will be, or if I enjoy writing their character, pretty much. Also, I'm indecisive, so whatever I say may or may not happen as well. Also, character designs will probably change, will most likely change. Just putting it out there, so don't get super attached. But as of currently, I am very much not changing as much. Surprise, surprise. Sometimes I'm tweaking them here and there. Also, quick summary for all my story projects will be provided. So lucky you guys, you get to be able to hear some juicy OC lore. So firstly, I will be talking about two stories back to back because they both coincide around the same time. So we have Project Rekka and also Befallen. My two big fantasy stories where I have generations of lore and two main characters in the center of that drama. When I'm referring to Project Rekka, I'm talking more about Sayla's story, which takes place before Kiba's story, who's the protagonist of Befallen. The summary of Project Rekka goes, there once was a tale in Pandorian history which referred to a box that contains infinite amounts of treasures and glory. This box was hidden as greed struck the lives to all who open it. The box is said to only reveal itself once a worthy resonator were to awaken. A cry of glory was born, and a young girl is now tasked to find this box said to hold treasures for her tribe, with the help of a mysterious librarian who has secrets of his own. Tell me how well you think my narrator was. Be honest. Now we're diving right into Befallen. The world of Pandora, the land of the gifted, is a mystical place where all dreams can come true. Kiba, a wandering orphan, thinks how very much BS that is. Kiba, a wandering orphan, finally finds a place he can call home. However, when his home is raided, he is now forced to abandon everything he knows, being chased by a mysterious organization known as Nyx, vowing to take down the organization that took everything from him. So this takes place a couple years after the events of Sayla's story, and her involvement plays a major, and I mean big major role in the events that will occur in Kiba's story. So here's the lovely tier list and the willing participants I dragged into this mess. In the tier ranking, we have I would die for them, we have love them, and then we have potential character, pretty much neutral, just not fleshed out enough, so I'm just putting them in here. But I do love some of the designs that are in this ranking. And lastly, we have you're trash, but I'm trash for creating you tier. Starting with Project Rekka's cast, which has currently 3 designed characters, being Sayla, the main female protagonist, Milo, the male protagonist, and Callista, the running candidate. Pretty much we have Sayla, my love, my life. She's been my current hyperfixation for a good amount of time now. I created both of them back 2 years ago. Their designs were kind of sporadic. She was created out of a song I was at the time listening to. It kind of tumbled down into this hyperfixation of this like imaginary scene in my head of a female protagonist. I didn't know at the time what her name was, who was just like walking and just like destruction is happening. I should put a little bit of clarification. The song I was listening to at the time was from Honkai Impact. Sayla's name comes from a lyric or some part in the song. Milo actually is a funny character because he was a character built to be very mob-like. He didn't actually have a main role, and he wasn't actually even a main character. He was one of the side characters that I slowly got attached to as time went on. And then a little bit I kind of shipped him with Sayla, and so eventually that's kind of what spiraled into him actually being a protagonist, and eventually him being kind of a love interest for Sayla. And then Callista She was actually created this year because I was starting to focus more on Sayla's story. Eventually it got to a point where I wanted a villain. So pretty much that's why I created Callista for that role. Easy to rank them. I love Sayla. She's my hyperfixation. She's my favorite, one of my favorite actually, protagonist I created, because I have 4 protagonists. So I have Kiba, Sayla, Icarus, and Eureka slash Airgirl. So I guess it would be 5 protagonists. And so yeah, Sayla, I love her a lot. So I'm just gonna put her in the highest tier possible. I will, of course, yes, die for my OC Sayla. I love her so much. And I love her design. Oh my god. When I tell you guys, it's actually just fun to doodle her. It is. I love her design. I love the potential where her character can go. And oh, I was talking a little bit about it with one of my other art friends, and I was mentioning how Sayla's role is gonna be very interesting. Starts off as like a very bright-eyed character, but eventually become very jaded by the end of her story. And I'm so excited to write that aspect of her, and oh, it's gonna be so fun. And yeah, I'm just really excited to just actually write Sayla's story. She's in high tier, love her, would die for her. Milo, on the other hand, I do love him. He's an interesting character because he was a mob character. He was a pretty much side character that eventually got turned into an MC. And actually, his role in the story is now even more important than what originally I had written for him. So I actually am very excited to write Milo's story. So also, yes, I love him, okay? He's my baby. I love him so much. He's also in the I Would Die For, literally. Now, Callista, I have to actually like write more about her and like try to flesh her out. I actually do like her design, and I do like designing her and creating her. It's very interesting because when I was originally actually writing her character, I actually was vibing with it, but knowing what she does later in the story kind of makes me, I don't know how to best describe it. I don't hate her, and I do like her design, but she gives me an ick. All right, so now we're on Project Befallen. Just know I've created Kiba and all of them about like almost 3, maybe 4 years ago. I've been off and on with their story, so that's why I never really progressed much with their story, but I still love these characters so much. And now with Sayla's involvement in Kiba's story, pretty much a lot of Kiba's story has gotten rewritten and changed. I'm kind of glad I never indulged or talked too much about Kiba's story. It felt very not fleshed out and just all over the place. I feel like I have an actual better structure with his story now. So we have a few characters in the next generation. I'm gonna leave Kiba and Snow alone. I'm gonna save them for last because I have the most to talk about with them. So I'm gonna talk about Kaima first. So Kaima, she is a character that doesn't appear until very much later into Kiba's story. Actually in part 2 of Kiba's story, because Kiba's story is broken into parts. And so she appears around like the time skip when my characters are a little bit older. Because if you guys don't know, pretty much my story starts off with Kiba being around like 13, 14, and as the story progresses, he gets older along with the other cast of characters. Because I grew up and love stories like that. I grew up with a lot of shows where like you grew up with the characters. I don't know how to best describe it. It just makes me happy, okay? It just brings a happy feeling just seeing these characters just grow into like cool, respectable people. With all of that out the way, I do want to say I do love Kaima's design. I love her fluffy hair. Her curly fluffy hair is so pretty. I really love it. How I will like describe like my ranking or feel for her, I feel like she would be potential girl. I love the idea of her and what she can provide in a story, but at the same time she's not as fleshed out as I want her to be, even though I do love her design. And then we have Clementine. Oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever. Dreadfully sorry, Clementine. So she is pretty much a side character in my story. She doesn't have actually much of a crazy role, but I have been thinking as of late to maybe make her have a little bit of something else going on, but I just haven't figured it out. I just like the idea of a nun character, and that's pretty much what spiraled into her being created. He was an orphan. I'm pretty sure you guys would know that because I said it before, but he pretty much lives, it's a church in an orphanage, and so one of his sisters is like a nun. She doesn't play like a crazy role, but I would like to believe that maybe down the line she could actually have a little bit of something going on. Like she could be a returning side character because I think that would be fun, but I don't know yet. I do like her, so I'm gonna put her in the love tier. I love her, but I'm not crazy about her. I do love her design. I like a lot of my characters' designs. There's not too many where I'm like, Well, you know what? I'm talking too soon, so I'm gonna hold my breath, but just know that what I was about to say was pretty much a complete lie. So next we have Rambo. Oh, he was the it boy for a good amount of time on my channel when I was posting a lot about Rambo and Kiba and them. Rambo was the one who a lot of people liked, and I understand why. He's really cute. He has a cute design. He's kind of like cheeky, dumb, very chaotic, and almost feel like he has a one brain cell kind of guy, because he is, you know. Yeah, he has one brain cell, but like technically it's split between Shu, which is his best friend. Pretty much Shu takes a good amount of the brain cell, while Rambo has just one half of a brain cell. But he's adorable, he's cute, I love him. He's a character that's built off of being goofy and kind of silly, and then when stuff kind of goes bad and gets aggressively worse, he actually changes a little bit. He becomes a little bit more mature, serious, and pretty much a lot of that goofy exterior kind of washes away. It's the best way I can describe his character and the development that his character will go through, because he's a character that never really took a lot of things serious. There is also some old lore that I think I talked about that still applies to him, or what happened to him. If you guys want to check, I do have an OC playlist where you can look at a lot of my old content and lore that I was talking about. And I pretty much could tell you Rambo's, or a lot of his backstory, is pretty much the same. So if you want to know a little bit more about Rambo's backstory, you can kind of watch it there. However, I will rank him and love it. I do think his potential is on a weaker side, but I just think it's because I haven't fleshed him out enough. But I do like his design, so I'm gonna put him in the love it because I say so, and yeah, you can't do anything about it. Next person is Shu. Shu is very interesting because he's the best friend to Rambo. He pretty much has to act like the one who knows everything, act as if, you know, he's the mature one in the group, because technically he is. He is older than them. No, he's not. Rambo is older than them. Rambo is older than them, but he's the shortest one, being 15 in the beginning of the story. And Shu is the tallest one, but he's the youngest. Shu is a very funny character because he pretty much is like, he's kind of like soccer coded from Avatar. I guess that's the best way I can describe his character and his personality. Like, he acts mature, but he's also very goofy. He has a lot of dumb moments because at the end of the day, he's still a kid, so he's gonna say and do a lot of dumb stuff. And so Shu will pretty much be potential guy. While I do like his character and a little bit of his personality, I'm not crazy about his design enough to like always want to draw it. I draw it when I draw it, and that's about it. Potential guy for you. And now we got the two characters who gave me the biggest headaches throughout the entire 3 to 4 year time span of me writing down. I'm looking at you, Kiba and Snow. So Kiba and Snow, I'll keep it short. I've created them ways ago, back when I first got my iPad and when I also started using Procreate more. And I remember I did this big piece that was like this fictional what if scenario of Snow and Kiba meeting, and it's a really old piece that looks pretty bad. And this is also back then when Snow used to wear a lot of his masks in my older artwork. I decided not to really always hide his face, because in story he will be hiding his face, but in terms of like me just drawing him, I don't constantly want to draw him with his mask on. Scene of Kiba asking Snow for help, you wouldn't have expected it, but pretty much Kiba gets flung on his back because he just grabbed Snow and kind of startled him. Yeah. Their first interactions are very, very great, and both are protagonists in their own right. They're both the main character of the story, very much in the point of view of Kiba in the beginning, but eventually Snow get his own point of view and a little bit about what's going on with him later in the story, and that's kind of what I planned for them. They also have big roles being both of the protagonists, and I do really love a lot of the potential that comes with their character. But hooey, do I actually despise their designs. I cannot tell you how often I think I slightly redesign, tweak, change their color palette for a little bit. Guys, it's terrible. They gave me hell. I'm just being bluntly honest. In terms of the design, I despise their designs. I constantly, especially Snow, redesigned him so much. He just was so annoying to constantly redraw and design for. I actually put Project Befallen on an indefinite hiatus just because how annoyed I got. And it made me so mad because pretty much I stopped writing the story, stopped focusing on the characters. I actually even stopped drawing them. And so I started creating other characters like Eureka, Sayla, and Icarus around that time. Because when I was just like so fed up with the character designs of these are my main characters. These are not like any ordinary characters in the face of pretty much the story. And so I want them to look how I was envisioned, but they never come out as I want. While I am designing them right now, the character OC lineup, I'm still thinking about designing it. I keep looking at it and I'm like, I want to redesign you, but there is hope. I don't mind it as much with looking at them. Like Kiba's fluffy hair is really cute and I don't mind it as much. However, Snow is kind of annoying me and I may kind of tweak his a little bit. Some aspects of their character, their design, and just overall, I did enjoy writing them, but they just gave me the biggest headache. I am gonna make this the last time I change them because I just cannot. I've been working on these characters for almost 3 to 4 years. It's just ridiculous and I am tired. However, I'm not tired of the idea of where the story can go. I am very excited for their story. In the trash you go, Snow and Kiba, because you're trash and I'm trash for creating because I'm so indecisive. I cannot find a design for you. Kiba's hair is so freaking ridiculous sometimes to draw. I love fluffy hair. I love characters who have fluffy hair like Deku, and I can't think of any other characters at the moment, but like, you know what I mean. Like I love characters with very fluffy, spiky like hair. And I'm like, you know what? I want a protagonist who also has the same similar hair. He originally had spiky hair and he had kind of like fluffy hair, but I didn't like that all that much. I genuinely just do not like drawing his hair. I love hair like this. I just don't like drawing it. And so yeah, it's just no. I don't know. I don't like it. Okay, so I didn't expect that the video was gonna be really long. It's like an hour long, guys, and I was just yapping. So what I plan to do is that I plan to split all this content into 3 videos. I'm gonna be completely honest. If I do this in one big video, this actually will be probably an hour long just of me doing tier lists and talking about them, which is kind of scary. But I mean, it will be fun, but I don't think many people are gonna watch that much content for me. And so yeah, I'm gonna be in part 1 with Kiba and Sayla, and yeah, I'll be seeing you guys probably sooner than you guys expect, very soon. So stay tuned for part 2. I will be seeing you guys. Until next time, stay mofo and mofus.